3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Welcome into the open where we get technical. You should have investments in long-term growth. Konnichiwa. Hello. It is Friday as of the recording of this video. Welcome to Get Technical. I'm Neal Hamilton, resident wannabe trader, expert putter to sleeper, and overall just I don't know. I think I'm a good guy. Just overall good guy. Thank you for joining us. Today is a very special day. Why? Because we took the last 2 days off for the Benzinga Small Cap Biotech Conference. Bit of a mouthful, but it was an awesome opportunity for folks to hear from biotech CEOs and get a better understanding of what goes into the story around biotech. I think it's really important, especially for a space that is full of scientists and highfalutin words and stuff, to get a better grasp so you can understand the fundamentals of what you're investing in. So definitely check out some of those recordings if you haven't yet, if you didn't attend that. But we are back. We do not have a guest today, besides producer AB, who I might force to come on, which isn't too hard to do because I know he loves the camera. But today's picks, I've got a handful of them. The theme right now is the stock market sucks. Let's just say it. Producer AB, just pick something. Pick a setting. It sucks. All right. But we're looking at stocks that have strength. And I tweeted out asking some of you guys for some of those names, and you guys gave me some really good ones. So I've got like 5 from Twitter. So, let me know. I should probably give the shout out. So I'll try to find the people that actually tweeted them, but they're in my watch list. I think AB. Oh, producer AB just left. There you go. I love red. So here's the thing: is this is setting us up. I mean, no matter what the market's doing, it's a good thing in the end. I mean, by and large, the U.S. stock markets are going to go up. U.S. stocks are going to go up in the long run. I mean, in aggregate, at least. And times like this is when those nice bottoms and double bottoms are formed. And that's when you get explosive returns. So yeah, healthy pullbacks, right? So anyways, we're looking at some stocks that have shown strength amid the chaos. I'm going to start off with CRIS. This is just going to be the pick for the day. And as I pull this up, let's see if Aaron Bree can time that bell video perfectly, because I think it's a 15-second delay, so it's hard to get it right. It's 9:29:17. Aaron Bree, you're right. Do you know where the video? You got it? All right. I'm getting the. All right. Anyway, CRIS. Look at this beast. Got another stock that was beaten up. Space is this biotech stock that was beaten up. I'm like zoomed. How's this video setting for
3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 0.
Hopefully that hit the mark. Well done, producer AB. We're into the open, so let's start seeing some movement. This is CRIS. Chris is a biotech company. Don't know much about it. Got beat up, double bottomed, returned like a phoenix, and then looks like we're going to get a continuation. Why are we going to get a continuation? Because it didn't sell off like crazy, and now we're at support. We're at support right at this previous resistance level. At least that served for forming the bottom of our cup and handle. So if you're zooming in on CRIS, this is the daily for it. Or I'm sorry, the weekly, it might be. And we're looking not great. So what I want to see here is two things. Number one is you can easily make the case, if I go to hourly right now, you can easily make the case for entering above the point on this handle, on this cup and handle pattern, the point where this ceases to be a downward trend. And we have a very just clear, elementary, just a big green candle going up that tells you you may enter. And when you do that, you're going to want to target this pivot point, right? So getting in, this thing looks like it's continuing green now. Now we're looking good. We, of course, want to see a couple things. One is we don't want to see this dip back down to support. We want to see this continue up. We also want to see a volume increase. And we've got the volume right about, whoops. Here is middling. We want like a 25% volume increase. So hope to see something like that. We want to see the volume get up there, but it looks like it's doing it. So my take on CRIS is that I may enter now, and then I may look to maybe take profits at about $13. But then what I want to see is a nice break about 10 cents perhaps above 1308 or 1302 rather, for a larger breakout. So we got two price targets here. Price target number one, 1303. I think it's 1303 actually, when I was looking more closely at this. And then price target number two is on a break above that. Handy dandy paintbrush. Boom. And then the price target for that, I'm going to do this two ways. Number one way I'm going to do this is take the depth of the base of my cup, and I'm going to add it to my breakout point. And that's going to be the very by the pattern price target of about 17 3/4 or 1780, 1775, something like that. Now, the other way I'm going to do this is using the Fibonacci extension tool. Fibonacci extension tool lets you plot 3 points so that you can project a breakout price target from a low point to a high point and then to a dip. And then we see something interesting here. Can we see this on the screen? Let's zoom in on this thing. Let me make these lines a bit thicker actually here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. So we got something interesting. Number one, this cup with handle. Right now, heading where we want for price target number one. This is Curious Inc. CRIS. The 100% mark on our Fibonacci extension. This is on like every brokerage. Actually, I'm going to make this a little bit easier. I feel bad. So trend line. Yeah, that's the dashed. That's not really that important. So we want the levels line to be thicker. So we do that. And then let's make the level text a bit larger if we can. Not going to do that. Then I'll maybe perhaps do a little zoom. No, that's not going to do it for you. At any rate, you can see that the first target set here is about halfway to the yellow line that I drew. All right, so that's $15 as a conservative price target. So we kind of have three price targets going here. We've got target one. And these are not like end all be all. I think people misinterpret price targets. That doesn't mean like you fully exit. Price target is just where you look for your pattern or your setup to resolve and then probably consolidate a little bit. That means start trading sideways, maybe drop down a little bit. And that's a point of reassessment. Do you sell out? Do you take profit and then re-enter upon confirmation? I think that's probably the best thing to do in this market. I think you want to hit your price targets and then take your profit. And then if you see strong confirmation that it's passing it up to the next price target, consider re-entering. So our price target number 3. So we did this Fibonacci extension. We went from the absolute low point of our cup and handle to the pivot point, down to the low of the handle portion of the pattern, and the second level lined up just about perfectly with the pattern base level that I set, which was merely the depth of the cup and handle added to the pivot right there. Isn't that cool? CRIS. Nice setup. Looks like it's doing what I want it to do. Kind of rare in this market. All right. What's up next? Okay, guys, let me know. Do you guys want to hit some of the... You guys had some really good picks. So we have 2 options right now. Do you want to talk about some of the picks that I tweeted out earlier from my notes, or do you want to hit some community picks? Yvonne, I'm pretty sure, did I have Disney as one of mine? Here, let me switch over. Gotta get the right watch list. Friday picks. Did I have Disney? I did have Disney. So we can look at Disney. This one I'm not too sure about. So Disney on the daily. What I'm personally learning is that in times where the pattern is just pretty choppy, which this is, like, this is super weird. Really what we just see is, I mean, you can kind of see a rounding top, and then you just hope that it doesn't go back down, which it very well could. But if we see strength here, I would use the Fibonacci extension. So what I'm going to do, or not the Fibonacci extension, I'm going to use the regular Fibonacci retracement, and I'm going to, instead of starting at the bottom and then going to the high, I'm actually going to start at the high. I'm going to go down. And let's see how well the Fibonacci retracement lines up with these levels. Not bad, not bad. We can see that we hit resistance at 1 Fibonacci level. It's lining up pretty damn well, actually. So these are sort of the steps that this stock has to take to get back up. All right. So we are currently in sort of a bearish position. We're in a bearish position. What I would be looking for with this, and what it seems to be happening, is that it wants to either retest this level or test this previous high. So we'll see right now if this candle holds at the high, the close. This is actually the closing level of yesterday. We'll see if it holds, and it might reverse. I don't see a totally clear entry on this one. If Disney entered NFTs, do you think there would be a huge jump? I don't think so, because it has Disney. I think Disney has a lot more inertia than smaller stocks. I think smaller stocks will do things like announce that they're about to accept Dogecoin in exchange for whatever, and that can really change a small stock. With a stock like Disney, I don't think so. I don't think it would be a huge spike. I think a bunch of people would buy it, and it would drive the price up, but I don't think it would be like a huge candle. All right. Let's get some picks. I'm going to go to my next one. Let me see which one I liked from my notes. These are my notes. Let me see if it's appropriate for me to share. All right. Yeah, it's not too bad. These are the stocks I'm looking at. CRAS, MP was a good one. Actually, one of you guys gave MP a while back, and I didn't do anything about it because I'm a laggard. I want to check on GM and HOFV. Shout out to 13 for the HOFV call in the Benzinga Discord. Oh, all right. Hold on. You guys... All right, I'm so scatterbrained. We have to check on NMM because of what's going on in shipping. So if you guys don't know, there's a giant ship. It's about a mile long that's caught in one of the most important channels for shipping containers on the planet, the Suez Canal. And it's going to be backed up for a while because the ship is a freaking mile long. And I'm pretty sure it's like sideways when it should be like long ways in the Suez Canal. NMM likes it. NMM really likes it. So NMM was our high type flag. We had some serious price targets. We hit our first price target handily. And it's looking like we might want to go for our secondary price target. So what am I going to do here with NMM? This is shipping oil specifically. Fibonacci extension. Let's go to the first green candle, the low, up to the high, down to the swing low. See, it lines up just about with that previous price target I had. Pretty nice, huh? Pretty nice. Honestly, I think this could be entered like nowish. In my humble opinion. I'm not in it though. Um, 13. Yeah, we covered HOV FV, but you called out a flag. So we got HOFV, which is forming a nice, over a long time, a very broad base, a very broad rounding bottom here. We broke up above it, but we always do this with these bottoms, guys. We always do this. You break out a little bit above the bottom. You go down a little bit. All right, that's going to happen. That's just how these things work. And then you come back up. All right, let me draw it for you. Double bottom, sometimes it'd be like this. You got your neckline here. Break above, come back down. Then you go like that. Can you see that? All right, so how am I going to approach this? The first thing I'm going to do is look at the long term on HOFV. So I got the whole picture here. This is daily candles. The next thing I'm going to do is find the key resistance levels or my neckline. It's right here at the top, our pivot points on our rounding bottom. And then you can see actually that now that I've drawn that, this was the point of resistance here for the body of this candle, and then also right about where the body of this candle has held, this candle right here, yesterday's, or today's rather. It is holding there. So that's our neckline, and what we're looking for is a bounce off of that. All right, and then patterns within patterns. So we've got a rounding bottom pattern, which is my favorite. Wow, that just... This is beautiful. I should do this for a living. We got the rounding bottom pattern, and then we can see when it starts to come up toward the neckline of our rounding bottom. And then right here, this might not be apparent right away, but let's go ahead and change this to an hourly. Let's do a little multi-time frame analysis. And we can see the formation of some patterns that we know. Little bull pennant, right? Happy little bull pennant. So if this thing breaks out, which right now we got some pretty not promising candles, but who knows? Things are crazy out here. Yes, they are. We get our paintbrush tool if I can find it. I don't know how I do this like almost every single day and I still can't find my tools. Get our breakout above this sloping resistance line. And then you can conservatively project. Actually, I should use the swing. You can conservatively project the swing high to the swing low. So that's within this nice little triangle here. You can conservatively project that it will grow to about 650. And that's getting us on our way. Yes, it is. That is getting us on our way. So what we want to see is a pattern within a pattern, a breakout from the sloping resistance line, to give us more confidence that it's time to resolve the larger thing, the bigger picture, with it, which is this going back to like, what is that, like 9 months, like a 9-month rounding bottom. Why are these things? Get out of here. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And the price target for that, HOFV, I mean, we'll see. We shall see. It popped on a very ephemeral kind of thing. But the price target for that would be about $9.31 for the resolution there. And from today's price, that would be if you were to enter at the breakout. So let's just we'll do our imaginary breakout point. It's about a 70% gain. Yes, it is. All right. So let me just see what's ticking here. I'm going to zoom in really quick. You guys take a look at my watch list and you tell me if you want to check any of these out or if you want to do picks from chat. I'm going to put them in order, descending order of movement. GME is just here. We can look at it if you want. I just like to have it there. This one was from Twitter. Let's do. Who gave us that pick? It was Mike. I believe it was Mike Danilla. This guy. This guy. He looks like he's going to beat the shit out of this bear market. Pretty sure this guy gave us the pick. All right. So do you want to do anything from this list or do you want something from you guys? TECK, LYFT, and surf. Michael. All right. All right. All right. We'll do that. I like that. So yeah, my list is out of order now, but it's all good. All right, so starting with LYFT. Let's start with LYFT, a name everyone knows, right? The Uber competitor. I already got into these a little bit. This one came from Twitter too. Thank you, Michael, for the picks. This is LYFT. All I did with LYFT so far was draw some horizontal lines at some key levels, which you guys actually are not able to see right now. So hold on one sec. Boom. Okay. What are these key levels? Let's start at the bottom. We've got a little bit of a double bottom action here. The key levels are the final swing high before a plunge. The second swing high here in the middle pivot. And then the high during this period of consolidation followed by this big bull run up. Nice gaps here. And guys, with double bottoms, you can totally enter once you start to see green down here. Most of the time, I'm very conservative saying, let's get above the neckline before we enter. And that's just, I'm conservative like that. But when you start to see this form and you start to see the pivot point and you see it's getting bullish, you know what you're looking at. All right, so this would have been fantastic. Yeah, let me know if you need me to slow down and explain what I'm talking about. He's killing. No one likes a conservative enter. If you like to protect your capital, you do. I like to make money, not lose it. All right. Second key level is we look at the broader pattern. And we see that we had another swing high here. Swing high here. And then a rounding bottom that failed to break out. So this level lines up there. And then also lines up before we had a little gap up action here. And the third and final one takes us all the way back to July 2019, and then just the other day. And what we're looking for is a resolution of this whole time frame. That's the big win. So you are not crazy if you want to do something like this. That's where when you say, I think that LYFT is going to get to, I think that LYFT has the potential to be a $122 stock, to double in price. You're not actually crazy. There's a reason for that. And I agree. I really agree. Yeah, shout out to our home builders. Home builders have been doing well this whole time. They don't care what's going on. XHB, that home builder ETF, love it. At any rate, let's look at the here and the now. I just want a continuation of this bullish trend that we're on. This thing rules. So let me just kind of get this arc out of the way really quick. Let's do the trend thing. Point 1, point 2. Looking nice. And after this, so we're doing the Chris Capri second Skies Forex impulse consolidation thing. So we got an impulse, we've got a corrective phase, we've got an impulse and a corrective phase. All right, so we need to measure from this corrective phase to the top of this impulse with our Fibonacci extension tool. So I'm going to go to the support level here that I've drawn, up to the absolute swing high during our corrective phase, down to the low, where it's holding support very nicely. And you can just barely see sort of a spinning top here, which is just a very neutral candle has formed for the day, right where my mouse is. I can hardly see it on my screen. At any rate, this is setting our price target for the current bullish trend that we're in at this 100% level at 73. So my take on this is we draw a line above our corrective phase, and this is a sloping corrective phase. From the top down to the bottom. And what I want to see is this is a nice little breakout period right now. But this could take longer. So if we get some absolute strength, which guys, it doesn't look like we're going to get, and volume pushing up, I would say enter and go for the moon on this one. Go for your price target. Watch it around this level. 68 is going to be a very important level for this one. But go for that 73 price target. But this one looks to me, just based on today so far, I mean, a lot of changes that have been happening in the afternoon. That's going to do something like this. I know that's extra squiggly. Can you see that? It looks awful. But what I would expect is a formation that's more like a descending triangle. Since we are if we zoom out with this stock, we're at a important level of previous consolidation. So I think that it needs to digest a little bit just based on what I'm seeing, that there's no strength behind it right now. This is LYFT. Probably shoot for something like a descending triangle, and then you want to see a breakout from that. Think of ePay. Just catching up with chat. All right, let's check in on X. We got steel. We got some art. I'm going to delete. Someone called out X. That looks like a cup and handle is forming. Something to look out for in cup and handles that I'm watching. Yeah, it does. Totally. This is looking cuppy. So we're looking for a resolution of this bigger pattern on X. US steel. We just want to see if it can break above 24.5. Get our arc tool. We want to see this resolution. And then for our cup and handle, we go to left cup is this pivot point. It's the high where we started to sell off, to the pivot, which is the right side after we had a buy-in phase. And this looks very clean. It's red on this side, green on this side. And then we had a little more selling off. One thing to be aware of, which it doesn't look like is the case now with steel, is you don't want your handle to go down too far. It's just not a handle anymore. This one's about little over halfway down through the depth of the cup. They say, I was actually just looking at this today. They say that you don't want your handle to go more than 30% down the way of your cup. But I think during these volatile times, we don't need to stick to the T, to the actual word of those rules. It gives us a little room. So if we're looking at this like it's a handle, we want to draw our sloping line, which is going to be raised a little bit. Tough one. I'm trying to stick to the body. So for a breakout on this one, you can look at the action that occurs between the sloping resistance of the handle and the pivot. The action that happens in here. Which is right about where we are. We're trading right about here. But there's another thing you want to see, and we're actually getting it. This candle is moving pretty nicely. If you can see it here, let me really zoom in. This is looking very good. But you want to see this spike in volume. So if we say the average volume over the past week, something like this, we want to see a nice spike. Well, that was way too low. We want to see a nice spike. Something a little bit higher to give you some confidence at that breakout. But looking at this right now, I think one can very reasonably enter for the day at least. I'm not sure about holding over the weekend, but enter for the day and then target the pivot for about 14.5% gain. So the number that, so the numbers, you can see them here on the right. So entry here is 2140, where we're trading right now. And then target is the pivot on our cup at $24.50. And then with cup and handles, you can always, I highly recommend it, use the Fibonacci extension tool to go to the low of the cup at $16, to the pivot of the cup at $24.38, to the swing low at $18.58. And you're setting a conservative price target following a breakout at the $24.50 level. Following this breakout, so you see a close above this level, you can target about $26.80. And then if you get above that, level at 26.80, and you can see continued strength, you can then set your secondary price target to $31, $32, something like that. See you, VO. Happy trading, man. HOFV is at pre-market low. So Voodoo. Voo bracket do. If X blows down past 20 and stays there, it could see 1786-ish support. 20 hold is important for upside. So blows down past 20. And then looking at that support on 17.5. So those are some levels from Voodoo. Now let's see what he means. So are you using this last swing high here? Or that you're using this support, aren't you? So do you mean like 16 and some change or 1786? I see. So what Voodoo is saying is that if there is a pullback and this goes down, that the next support level you want to look for is where it dipped down, where the stock dipped down on May 18th-ish, around May 17th, May 18th, 2017, as the next meaningful level. So that's where it's good just to draw a horizontal line so it's on your chart. So that's our next level of support there. All right. What do you guys want next? We've got about 20-ish minutes left. Apparently someone needs to do it for you. That's what financial advisors are for. All right. Do we want more of my picks, or do we want some community picks? One for Neal picks, two for community. There's no bias in that number. One for Neal, two for community, for chat. Ponytail time. I don't know, man. I don't think it's quite there. I don't like the way it looks. Actually, yeah, that looks pretty cool. We'll see. I'm not going to cut my hair until I can have at least a couple, like a solid week of just ponytail swinging. I want to be able to have I want to be one of those cool guys with a braided ponytail with the little lion tail at the end. Like the new bass player for Metallica. What do you call an alligator from the stock market? An investigator. Let's do a hybrid. Let's look at another one that I was previously looking at because it was suggested by someone on Twitter. This is TECK, TECK. I think I had to go. Oh, no. Okay. So this one IPO'd back in 2006. And has been trading sideways the whole time. But that's great because it's had these awesome dips. So now the question with TECK is it going to break this long-term downward kind of sideways thing it's been on? So let's draw on the top here, tippy top. Look how that lined up. So I believe this was Nicholas that tweeted this for me. TECK. Oh shoot, you can't see the chart. Aaron Bry is like doing his assignment. So TECK, trading sideways for a very long time. IPO'd back in 2016. And we can see that these highs have gotten successively lower. And that's actually what just happened. So this is staying on trend. Where we had this swing up and it hit this line. I mean, this isn't perfect. If I line this up with this one, you can see, look how perfectly that holds true. Hit it, got smacked right back down. So what you would be really hoping for with this is that it breaks that trend if you're bullish on it. If you believe in the story, you're breaking out of a very long, like this is super long, downward trend on the highs here. But if that is your thesis, we may plot around it using the Fibonacci extension. Let's go to the swing low here, to the swing high, back down to a swing low, our 3 points. That sets a conservative price target of about $28, $29. You can see the dotted lines where I plotted these with my Fibonacci extension tool. $28. So what you would be looking for is a hardcore bounce with a ton of volume behind it, and then a break above this sloping resistance line to really go long. Other than that, I'd say this one has had its heyday. And the fun thing about this stock is that it hits these support levels when it goes down and you trade it on the way back up. Hey, Brad. Thanks, man. What time frame is most important when looking at RSI, Joseph? I don't think it matters. Any time frame you're looking at, you should just be aware of what the RSI says. So when you're looking at a stock and setting up a thesis, whether you want to go long, what your targets are, whatever, that whole thing, you should be doing a multi-time frame analysis. So you want to look at it over months, over weeks, over days, over hours, depending. I mean, everything's contextual. But always your RSI should be set to 14, and that will adjust to whatever frequency or increments you're looking at. Um, 13. maybe. Yes, CR. I mean, now could be the time. Now could be the time. It is. It's holding. TECK is holding at this key level. All right, give me your picks. Give me your time frames. You guys are rowdy today. Can I just say that? You guys are something's in the water. Is it because it's Friday? Because the week has been so shitty and unpredictable. Okay, Michael just says square. Guys, give me the ticker and the time frame that you want to look at. So like the frequency or the duration of time of the window. So just say ticker swing trade, ticker day trade, whatever, and then that will help. Yeah, Kelly, you need a brisk walk. That's why I'm prescribing you as your doctor. Okay. So let's get Square. SQ is the ticker for Square. I have this crazy ass line here. I don't know why. Here, let me get this up. Thanks for the 2. Hurt Scrambler. I'll try to get to that next. Don't let me forget. All right. So the question with Square is this the end? I don't think so. I think this is a consolidation phase. Square has been on such a bull run. It's insane. We can see that the RSI and the MACD are both going down. Boop. Boop. And did you say day trade on Square or swing trade? Sorry. Shit, I lost it. Was this day or swing? At any rate, we're holding support at this level. We just had a really strong, long impulse. So we have a corrective phase here. Well, actually, hold on. There's not. So then we had an impulse, we had a corrective phase, and then we had a very short impulse, corrective phase. So I don't think this is going to come out with a lot of heat. We'll see. Swing. All right. So we're looking at the day, so that's good because we're looking at this from a swing trade perspective. I don't think this is going to come out of the gates with a lot of heat. Why is that? Because the pole leading up to it, we had a corrective phase, and then the pole is just these 2 bars. So really looking at where we are today. The safest way to look at this is pole, sloping resistance. And then we're looking for a breakout above this sloping resistance. And then this, whoops, the height of this pole being your price target, which ideally is a higher high. So that's a price target probably a little bit above 308, depending on when and where and if the breakout occurs. So with Square, again, we had. Let's get the paintbrush out. I have a better tool. The highlighter, is that a better tool for this? No, it sucks. Brush. We had our impulse move, and then we had our corrective move, which is pretty large. So we're taking the height of our impulse. Come on. We're taking the height of our impulse, which is those 2 green bars, up to the high point on our little pattern here, and then adding that to our hypothetical breakout point. Ramon asks, Neal, what do you think about the overall market? I think it's Chop City. I think that it's very... oh, Ramon, good luck on your exam. What I think about the overall market is just look for strength in... I think home builders is the strongest space to be right now. XHB, look at the holdings in that. And then that is probably the only place that I would be in the stock market right now. Besides, like, that's the easiest way to consolidate it, is just saying XHB, whoops, XHB has been on a solid bull trend, upward trend, since COVID recovery. Almost no other grouping of stocks has done this. So that now we're looking at the grouping of stocks that are held within XHB, which is the Spider Home Builders ETF. That's the easiest way. Yes, there's strength elsewhere, but that's just my very quick answer for you. But good luck on your exam, Ramon. I'm looking at MO for a swing trade. Hey, we've been here before. I would expect consolidation since we're getting a little overbought. And you can see that once we got to overbought points in the past. This is MO, Altria. Hell yeah. Once we got to overbought stages in the past, we did have our little sell-offs. But for full resolution of this low to this neckline, price target is even more aggressive than what I had previously drawn. Price target of 58. Do I in terms of looking for an entry on this? So you can see. Let me back up a little bit. We were in a downward trend. Lower highs, lower lows on MO. Little ziggy zag down. And then we want to help ourselves find the key points in that trend by drawing a trend line. And I'm just going to draw that on the right side of my candles, as always draw on the right side. And you can see that this trend sliced right down into where we started to swing back up and consolidate. And then once you broke above this trend line solidly, you were in breakout city. So we have reversed the trend. The trend has reversed. We are in a bullish trend now. Number one, first and foremost, is we're looking for a resolution of this swing low. And so I just kind of threw this on here as $58.25. But there's a couple more things going on. One is you can look at this whole thing like a rounded bottom. Where do I want to do that? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that like this. In play. All right, guys. So we're a breakout city. We've got a resolution that needs to be resolved. We need to resolve this rounded bottom. So you can go from the depth of your rounded bottom to your neckline and also set a price target based on that pattern, around $82. Cool, Kaylee. Is X going straight up right now? Did I just get debated? Who said something? Someone said something was going straight up. Okay. Wait, no, someone donated. So we got to get the donation. So this is Hertz Scrambler TPOR, looking at over a 1 year time period at TPOR. In 11 minutes, you are going to be graced by the gentlemanly musings of Ryan Faluna. So make sure you stick around. I can see him laughing. All right, so TPOR over a year. So I mean, that's pretty much the way you have to look at this thing. First thing that I would want to see now that we're in this. Okay, so we had a monster diff. We hit a cliff here. Sold off. You took the elevator down. Let me increase this so I can increase the drama. You took the elevator down. Now you're taking the stairs up. All right. It's been a rocky road. You had a brutal reversal here with a bullish engulfing candle. Shot you back down, but we held strong. TPOR marching up the steps like Rocky in that one movie. I forgot what it's called with the steps. And then we got back up to this level right before the cliff happened, and we consolidated. And now we're on our next impulse up. And you can see this impulse is hitting this next area of resistance. So let me draw this out. Paintbrush. Cliff. Bloop, dropped off. Started coming back. And then hit this big upswing, followed by a red candle that is bigger than the previous green candle. Bearish engulfing. Normally an indication that you're about to get eaten up, but we didn't. We kept coming back because we were hungrier than the bears. Marching up, marching up. Now let's get closer to today. Impulse up, corrective phase. Impulse up, corrective phase. Long impulse up. And we're trading higher than this red candle right now. You can hardly see it. I can hardly see it as well. Super tight day. But bullish so far. It's forming what looks like a crazy little hammer. What I would expect at this current level is some consolidation right about here. Do the thing. Why is it not doing the thing? There we go. All right. So we're going to be looking for a corrective phase somewhere around here. It might look like chop like this where it hits it, or it might get all the way up to it and then start coming down. But this is where we're looking for entries, right around the 41 handle. Okay. Yeah, about 7 minutes left. Tickers and time frames. NUE is just killing it. What the stock rules? The stock is a rocket ship. This one is actually deserving of the rocket ship emoji. That is so disgustingly overused these days. QS daily. It's a funny little frog. Let's draw our important lines here. We're trading sideways. Oh, I'm looking at the weekly because I'm thick. We're still trading sideways. So you just want to bounce, my friend. So what we'll do, when you don't have too much to work with. Actually, why I'm such... Guys. Check it out. God, I almost overlooked that. This is a big old descending triangle. That's right. Here's our pole. Right there. QS daily. Big old descending triangle. There are some other things going on that can be spoken of. I can use some other technical indicators, but I'm looking just at the price and the price patterns. We want to break out above the sloping resistance. And when we have that, we have two price targets. We have our aggressive price target, which is taking the length of this pole. I'm going to copy and paste it. And adding that. And you know, you guys are probably, some of you are probably getting a little bit confused because I have logarithmic scales on. Let me just change this to regular. So I took the length of this pole. Now it's all screwed up. And adding it to the apex of our descending triangle, which is where the two lines meet. And then I'm just going to turn this sideways to set our price target of $157, following a breakout above this sloping resistance. Conservative price target. So that's price target number 2. That's aggressive. Conservative price target on a descending triangle is the swing high, which is the absolute high point, to the swing low, which is the lower support line. And then you add that to your breakout point. So that's hypothetical at this point. So right now, if it were to happen literally today, that would actually be higher. But it looks like it'll take a little bit of time. So it'll probably be a little bit lower in all likelihood. But who knows? QS has a little climbing to do before it'll break out above that. Okay, so that's QS, guys. What's next? GS on monthly increments. I'm finding my support lines, previous dips down with a horizontal line. It's a big move. Kind of want to, let's do some multi-time frame analysis by going down to a shorter time frame to look at what happened during that move. So this big move actually only had 2 impulses. One impulse, corrective phase. Second impulse, corrective phase. Wow. Looks like we might be at the second entry for this bull run. Going back to monthly. I mean, this thing is just a beast. That's all there is to it. Oh, come on. Next level of support is going to line right up with some resistance in the past. So we can see that we had a dip down here. We had a dip that took us down to about $207 in June of 2018. And then back in October of 2007, that was a resistance level. So that's our next line of support. And we are well, far and away above that. So I'm going to switch back to daily. This has been monthly. Looking at daily for entries. After following this impulsive move, we had a corrective move. Oh, it's 10:30. I got to switch. Ryan, really quick, I'm just going to do something with Fibonacci. This is probably the best way to do this. Use Fibonacci extension at the beginning of your impulse, which is the base of the previous corrective move, to the top of your impulse, down to the base of your current corrective move. And you can set your entry right about now, following the confirmation of the bounce, and set your price target to about $408, which is, from right now, profit potential of 22%. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a weird day, a very weird week. I feel weird. But you know what? Sometimes I like to get weird. It feels good sometimes. Thank you all for joining us. Chat, you guys have been absolutely rambunctious today. I don't know what's gotten into you. Tune in tomorrow for the all-day stream. Check my Twitter at Neal's Tweets to get the details on that. I will be joined by Ryan Faluna and Jonathan Mallard. We're going to be, just kidding, they don't know about that. I'm going to see if we can get them to join us, maybe play some games and look at some charts. At any rate, I'm getting pulled off. Have a great and wonderful weekend, guys. I will see you on Monday.